Every moment on your channel of champions. With Dakar Rally, time is of the essence. Every moment on your channel of champions. Sponsored by Total Quartz Lubricants.
Welcome to the conclusion of the Telefonica Dakar 2005. Frenchman Cyril de Prey is the winner, and we ride with him. Stefan Pederhansel racks up Dakar win number 8 to go into the Dakar stratosphere. And the man from Russia with the Kamaz, Kabirov, wins his first truck Dakar. Today's stage, really one for the sponsors and one for the families, but certainly one for the emotions. A short stage of some 31 kilometers around the Pink Lake, Lac Rose, not far out of central Dakar, the most westerly point of the African continent. Just after dawn this morning, everybody was prepared for the last few kilometers. Some were going to enjoy them, some were very thoughtful about it, but everybody was covered still with the grief of the loss of two riders, two of their own in this year's event. A moment's reflection. For the Gauloise KTM squad, loss of Fabrizio Mioni, whilst the Spanish had lost Jose Manuel Perez. The bikes went off 20 by 20 first thing this morning. It was every man for himself as Mick Extance from the UK sped along, the only British rider on two wheels to get to the finish in 2005. Then the next group of 20 were off, and the man from Australia, David Schwartz, decided to go for it, but unfortunately had a big off. He was lucky to get away without serious injury as he led motocross style down the beachfront on Dakar, probably one of the most evocative rally raiding scenes in the history of rally raiding, full stop. Everybody was flat out, including the man from Holland, Fransen. A start number of 2:22, and yet he finished 5th on today's stage. What a result from him. Brewer, he went well on the beach with his Yamaha. He went well on the beach in Barcelona. He got another good result today. He finished in 4th position alongside the Pink Lake. Eric Verhoef, another Dutchman, making it 3 Dutchmen inside the top 5 today. Esteve Puyol, the man from Spain, nearly overshot the first corner. Well, he just took to the grass. Esteve Puyol, 2nd on today's stage, and 4th in the overall standings. Puyol probably coming into this rally as the Repsol KTM leader, but not coming out of it, because Puyol finished up in 4th position, less than 12 minutes back. But it was Mark Comer who clinched 2nd position overall, come the end of this year's Dakar. But the victor of today's stage, the man from America, the rookie, Kellen Walsh. They're producing them well over there in California. And the youngster, still in his early 20s, being victorious on today's stage by just 52 seconds. Walsh eventually coming home, a little down the order, having lost time earlier in the rally. He finished in 22nd overall. Now we move on to the big boys. We're on board with the victor of this year's Dakar, Cyril Dupre, saying, hi everybody, I've just started this last stage of the Dakar, a very important day because we've got to pay homage to my friends who are unfortunately not here anymore. I think of them and their families. I kiss you all. Dupre took it relatively easy on the stage, just enjoying the emotions. He says, I don't know why Thierry Sabine had this foolish idea to create this rally and to finish here at Lac Rose. Simply extraordinary. We wait all year long for this Lac Rose. We wait for it. We train for it in the gym, on the bike, on the motorbike. We talk about it over lunch, over dinner. Everybody talks about it. And to win here is just wonderful. But getting to the finish and being with his teammate Jean Brucy, it was just too emotional for Dupre. He says, thank you. He says, thank you, thank you. I now understand why you were so important for Richard. It's absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much. So it was Gauloi's KTM at the head of the podium. Cyril Dupre being the victor ahead of Marc Coma in second position. The leading production rider from France, David Castello. The winning girl, Ludovine Thuy, at just 21 years old. And Antoine Morel, the lone, the only, the winning quad. Well done. Kellen Walsh for America being victorious on today's short stage, just ahead of Esteban Pujol, Eric Verhoff, Brewer and Franson flying the flag for Holland. Overall though, it's Dupre who is the victor ahead of Marc Coma, Alfie Cox for South Africa in third, Pujol and Fretinier fourth and fifth, Caldecott for Australia in sixth position, ahead of D'Azevedo, Sala, Chris Blaise and Jean Brucy. Cyril Dupre saying, I've got the feeling that I've fulfilled my promise, and that's the most important thing for me today. What do I feel right now? Well, these last few days were a big fight, a fight to concentrate. But I've won this fight, I've won the rally, and I'm on the top step of the podium. It was a promise for Richard that we all made a few months ago. Of course, he's talking about Richard Sanct, who tragically lost his life at the end of September. David Fretinier, winning 450 rider, is saying, I'm very happy to be here. Very hard Dakar with happiness and pain, but finally a lot of joy here. There were many surprises with the competition, and that was the main thing for me. I've learned a great deal, and we continue to work with Yamaha on the bike, continuing the adventure that we started only 12 months ago. David Castello, the winning production bike rider, he says, brilliant, here I am. This morning I was a little worried before this 30-kilometer stage, but now it's done. How do you feel? I've done 3 Dakars, he says, 3 times at the finish, but this one to win my class and get 13th overall is fabulous. To ride a bike without changing anything on it from start to finish is very good. I've just got to look after the engine, make good, safe riding, fabulous adventure. Antoine Morel winning quad, it's enormous for me. It makes the 6 months that I've worked on this machine very satisfying to get here, right in amongst all of the bikes. He finished
Great ideas change the world, but the greatest ideas are founded on simplicity.
What can you do about the two of them at the moment, and Henri, because they're playing?
The FA Cup. Simple. You stay in, or you get knocked out.
You couldn't write a fairy tale!
The FA Cup on the Soccer Channel. Sponsored with pride by Discovery, a team worth supporting.
The 2005 Dakar will be overshadowed for one reason: the tragic loss of the Italian Fabrizio Mioni sent the whole bivouac into a spin. Another rider tragically lost his life, Perez from Spain. A terrible, terrible loss. The Dakar was covered with bad weather. It was covered also with a cancellation of a stage, but we can move metal, no problem at all. David Fretinier, though, he's a star for the future. He was winning right from the word go with his relatively small Yamaha 450. He won stages last year, 3 of them. He's won stages this year, and he is a threat for the future. Will the Dakar continue to be 660, 700cc, or will it be 450? Good rally for South Australia. Andy Caldecott finishing 6th position in the overall standings, including 2 stage victories. Thumbs up from Keith. That's where he lives, not his name. We had dust, we had heat, we had river crossings, we had crashes, we had emotions, we had one quad at the finish. Antoine Morel, the only quad to get to Dakar. Palanders Ulavaseta from Norway, the man in green, he didn't get to the finish. He fell at the halfway point, and the 2004 Rally Raid world champion was out. Esteve Puyol may have been helped by Mark Comer at times, but in the end, it was Mark Comer, the 28-year-old, who rocked up to be the quickest Spaniard out there. He pushed Cyril Desprez right to the very end of the rally, and in the end, it was Comer who lost out on the overall victory by less than 10 minutes. John D'Azevedo from Brazil, he was victorious on one stage, whilst many others went home. There were many others caught out in the desert on the road to Chit. Very, very many people getting caught out in the middle of the desert. Even with a 9-minute speeding penalty, Cyril Desprez, with a couple of days to go, had a precious lead of just 3 minutes, but in the...
Plastic. The Sunshine Tour continues when the South African Airways Open returns to its birthplace at the Durban Country Club. South Africa's hottest golf talent, live and exclusive to Supersport. Proudly sponsored by South African Airways.
The cars went off 2 by 2 this morning from the start line on the beachfront, Dakar. Emotions were running high as Stefan Pederhansel and Luc Alphon made their way down the short stretch, but very enjoyable stretch as they approached the last couple of kilometres of what has been a 9,000-kilometre rally full of sporting heroes, of tragedy and of victors. For Mitsubishi, this is now their 10th Dakar victory, and for Stefan Pederhansel, his 8th Dakar victory. Count them 8. 6 on a bike with Yamaha, and now 2 on the bounce with Mitsubishi. Mitsubishi, by having 10 victories, are now more than double the amount of victories ahead of their closest rivals, Peugeot and Citroën. He says, we're very close to the finish now. Thank you, Jean-Paul. What a good job. What a good job. It's a long way, but we've done it. Thank you. And for Peter Hansel, he may have won 7 before, this now being his 8th, but still the emotions raw and still the smile absolutely as wide as the lake. Third, come the finish, was Jutta Kleinschmidt. The Volkswagen project now in its 3rd year. They had a 2-wheel drive project initially. Now in the 2nd year of the 4-wheel drive Touareg, they have beaten Nissan to that final podium position. Mitsubishi may be untouchable at the moment, but in the end it was Kleinschmidt 3rd and Janil de Villiers with his Nissan in 4th position overall. Kleinschmidt took a singleton stage victory on stage 11 in Tekifa, whilst de Villiers snatched 2 stage victories. McRae took a couple more, whilst Ari Vatanen took 1 as well. However, with the victor of today's stage being Bruno Sabi, the teammate to Jutta Kleinschmidt, that has made Volkswagen up to 4 stage victories in this 2005 Dakar. Chris Nissen, the team boss, well, he said at the beginning that he'd buy everybody a beer tonight if he had 4 stage victories. He better look forward to a big bill this evening alongside the pool. Here is Bruno Sabi. He eventually finishing up, not only being victorious on today's stage, but in 5th position overall. The 1993 Dakar winner. What an excellent result. Nani Roma just behind him in 6th position. His first ever car rally on the Dakar, and he finishes 6th. Carlos Souza, what could he have done without that loss of 7 out? He could have been 3rd, instead it was 7th. Thierry Magnaldi, 8th, and leading 2-wheel drive machine. Ari Vatanen, well, Harry flatters, absolutely foot to the floor. And even with a puncture today, Vatanen finishing in 3rd on the day, but 39th overall. America's Robbie Gordon, first ever rally in a diesel car, first ever Dakar, and he won 2 of the first 3 stages. Trouble is, today, it went a little wrong. Can you believe it? Less than 10 kilometres to go, and one of the differentials goes pop, and he was left with only front-wheel drive. What an experience for Robbie Gordon. Christoph Holovic was also in trouble, the rookie and former WRC driver. Well, he just came to an abrupt halt. He and co-driver Jean-Marc Fortin had to get out and ask for a tow. The Dakar never ever finishes until you get over that podium. Holovic getting 60th position overall. What about the T1 class? That's the bit more standard class. Eventually it was won by Asaga, the Japanese driver, in his Toyota, just ahead of Jean-Jacques Ratte. 17th and 20th overall. The podium for Stefan Pederhansel. Luc Alfond in 2nd position. 3rd for Jutta Kleinschmidt. And 4th for Janil de Villiers. Robbie Gordon celebrating getting to the finish. And Saga celebrating being victorious in the T1 class. Everybody a winner on the Dakar. Including the daughter of the president of Senegal, Cinderly Wade. Bruno Sabi clinching another stage victory, but his first of 2005, ahead of Magnaldi today. Vatanen with a puncher getting 3rd, de Villiers and Kleinschmidt 4th and 5th today. But overall, Pederhansel takes the victory from teammate Alfond, Kleinschmidt, de Villiers and Sabi then in 5th position. Roma getting 6th ahead of Carlos Souza, Magnaldi, Monterde in the BMW and Dalmau.
Qu'est-ce que tu ressens aujourd'hui? Qu'est-ce que vous ressentez?
Pelle Hansel saying how, well, I'm just so satisfied. Enormous pressure with such a rally. It was a hard one with surprises, emotion and a new problem every day. But we progressed regularly and we kept ahead right up until the very last stage. It was just this one stage more today. I'm very, very happy.
Et puis ça s'est bien passé, donc vraiment un gros soulagement.
Kleinschmidt third saying I'm very happy because it was very hard, but we said at the start it would be very good to get one of these cars on the podium. Yes, you always dream that, but it's very important for the team to have that one car on the podium, and we did that. I'm very happy, good for the future, and we know that we're going in the right direction. We've made a big step this year, and if we do the same step next year, we can catch the Mitsubishis. Thierry Magnaldi, leading two-wheel drive car, saying I'm very happy. How do I say it? Well, this joy is covered with sadness as well, because as you know, we've lost a friend on this rally and it's very difficult to accept that. It's the law of life, but we have to continue. For me, today, this Dakar will definitely not be the best, even if I have had such a good result as people say I have had.
Dakar ne restera pas un des plus beaux, même si je fais un résultat superbe comme les gens peuvent le dire.
Saga, the victor of the marathon class, saying I'm very happy to be here because I've done it a few times, sometimes at the finish, sometimes not. This time, it's the best one, and I'm very, very happy to win my class here today with my Toyota.
いろんなことを覚えてね。で、今回の優勝につながったっていうのがめっちゃくちゃ嬉しいですね。
The Telefonica Dakar 2005 was full of emotion, right from the start all the way to the finish this afternoon in Dakar itself. Enjoy.
Vedi la differenza?
fait encore un sacré boulot. Super.
The best Aussie reality show ever is back.
Welcome to The Block.
4 couples from all over Australia, 4 identical apartments in an all-new location, 1 dirty, anxiety-filled brand new season that's going to be simply appalling. The Block Season 2.
And boy, have they got their work cut out for them this time.
Fridays at 11, a reality exclusive only on Channel 36 on DSTV.
Finally, but certainly not least, the trucks set off on their short stage down the beachfront on Dakar this morning. The monsters of the desert and now of the beach just had to click off those last few miles before they could celebrate by the pool. In the end, on the stage, it was Vladimir Chagin who was victorious. The eventual overall victor, Kabirov, getting 3rd today, but Kabirov now the first time winner of Dakar, but he in the driving seat. Not a good rally for Sugawara. He lost time in the last few days. In the end, the Italian Vismara snatching 5th position. Gerard de Roy with his Dutch-built DAF clinching 4th position. And on board with the eventual victor, Kabirov getting the flags out, trying to get it through the webbing. Oh, he's lost his flag. Never mind, it's all part of the fun. Oh, maybe he's still got it. Still got it, Kabirov, the 6th Kamaz victory. And another very, very special trophy to go in the Kamaz front reception. The trucks, well, they never ever fail to impress. Whether or not we're going through France, Spain, Morocco, Mauritania, Mali or Senegal. Pick the country that you may wish to see these monsters of the desert just defeat the laws of engineering. Gerard de Roy, he lost his rally early on. He put the thing on its side and he was never ever going to get the time back. The reigning champion Vladimir Chagin also lost time. He was out of contention for overall victory, but it was down to his teammate Kabirov to eventually get that victory, which he did ahead of Dutchman Hans Becks in 2nd. Jan de Roy, the 1987 victor, clinching 3rd position ahead of his son Gerard, 4th.
Destra. Quando você bota a roda mais fora. We go to the next waypoint. It's the only point where... Non,